Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. We're on Sunday the 19th of March and we're now getting into quite a warm spell in March actually, considering what we had earlier on in the month. And at last, I'm quite excited, I'm going to get some seeds sown. Now I did sow a few seeds last weekend, maybe the weekend before that, but they're safely ensconced in the house, sitting on sunny windowsills or in a heated propagator and under lights. But most of the seeds that I'm going to sow today are just going to go into the grow house and grow on there without any heat, and they should do absolutely fine. So let me show you what I'm going to be sowing, or let me sow them, and I'll talk about them as I'm sowing them and you can see what I'm up to. Okay, for the first seeds that I'm sowing, I'm going to use these almost like root trainer type cells. This is a container wise tray, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 40 cells in here, and actually I've got 2 of these, and the first one of these I am going to sow sweet peas in, and the second one of these I am going to sow peas, garden peas in. So this is going to be my sweet pea one, and I have 2 varieties of sweet peas that I'm going to sow, and I've been soaking them in warm water for a couple of hours just to help the shell of the seed to soften up a little bit. It's not necessary. I sometimes do it, I sometimes don't. And the first seeds here I have are called lipstick. These are a red sweet pea. And I'm going to put 2 into each of these, and 2 seeds into each of these cells, and then I'm going to top them up with vermiculite. Now what I'm using in here is actually a general purpose compost, but it's quite a nice general purpose compost. I'll show you the bag later. It's a peat free one, but it's really quite friable, and it doesn't have lots of big chunks in it. So I'm just going to use that, particularly for the sweet peas. They'll be in here for a little while, so we want them to have as much nutrients in here as possible. So actually I think I need to put a little bit more compost in that one. I've already watered the compost when I put it in the trays here, so I'll maybe just give a light watering over the top once I've got the seeds sown. So I actually have another pack of these lipstick sweet peas because there's only 25 in this pack, but I'm holding off. I might actually do another variety of sweet pea as well. I've lost track. Where was I? I've got them in there, but not got them in there. Or have I? Oh no, I looked away. Well, hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 20. Aye. So it'll just be here. There we go. And I'll write a little label for that. Oops. I'll pop some vermiculite on. Give it a little press down, and I'll just give a little topping of water just in a minute. So that's lipstick. As I say, they're red, and then this lot here are, oh, there's one in the pack still. These are called, these are a pink one, and they are called Molly Rylestone. And these are a pink, and I've got more in this one. How many's in this? 60 seeds, so that's good. So let's start here. I'll give them a wee space in between, and again I'll put 2 in each of the cells. Right, so these are going to go into my plastic grow house down by the kitchen door, and I'll keep an eye on them, and hopefully they'll germinate in a week or 2. Okay, also in these deep root trainer type cells, I'm going to put some garden peas, and the first variety, or the variety that I'm going to sow today, is called Hurst Green Shaft. I want to grow a lot of peas this year, so I've got Hurst Green Shaft. I've also got alderman, which I believe grow substantially taller, so I'll need to have a think about where I'm putting those, but I'll grow, put the Hurst Green Shaft in first of all, and we will, and I'll maybe repeat sow in a month's time and just get a little bit of succession happening. So I haven't soaked these. Some people do soak their pea seeds. I'm not going to bother. I haven't grown Hurst Green Shaft before. I think it's quite a short growing, not a very tall plant, which is fine for the bit of the garden that I'm aiming to put this into. And I can't actually, I've got to rip that first. Right. Right. Now, yeah, I think I'll put 2 in each of these again. Might be overdoing it, but I have plenty of seeds. Again, I'll just top them up with a little bit of vermiculite. I like using vermiculite because it just, when the plant, it's great to cover the plants, but it's quite light, so it's, it's not quite so important with these large seeds, but with smaller seeds it's good to have quite a light medium on top. But also when the plants start growing, the vermiculite doesn't tend to go that green way, and the base of the plants will, or the bottom leaves will stay quite clean. So yeah, I like vermiculite. And of course I've where the compost is concerned, I've got the lovely multi-purpose compost, but I've got vermiculite through it as well to lighten it up, improves drainage, just gives the compost a better feel, if you like. It doesn't feel so dense and likely to sort of, be hard for the plants to grow through. It works for me anyway. Right. So that's first green shaft. Let me know if you've grown them and what they're like, and hopefully I'll get a nice little harvest myself. And again, I'll just give this a little water and pop it into the grow house. Okay, now for some leeks. These are Autumn Giant 2 and sow March to May and harvest September to December. And I've got this, it was a fruit tree of some description with holes in it. So I'm just going to sprinkle the leeks on top, and then again light covering with vermiculite, and pop them in the grow house, and hopefully they will be fine. And once they're on a bit bigger, I'll transplant them to something, maybe some individual pots or whatever, and then eventually put them into the final growing place. Right, so yeah, tiny seeds, not wet, they're quite small anyway. So I'm just going to sprinkle, try not to be too generous. With all my seeds this year, I think I'm growing more. I'm erring on the side of having more rather than less. The garden is bigger than my old place, but I haven't got all the growing areas complete yet, so that will come as the year goes on. And if I have anything left, I will just give it away to friends and family. Yeah, I'll just use them all. Okay. Press them into the damp compost. A little dinky bit of vermiculite, and this is where, when you've got small seeds like this, that's where the vermiculite comes into its own, because it's not very, it's not going to suffocate the seeds, so to speak. It's just going to give a nice little covering on top of them. There we go. Okay, I've got another container-wise cell tray. This one is certainly not as deep as the trays that I put the peas and the sweet peas in. And what am I going to put in here? So I've just brought up the garden some of the seeds that I'm going to sow. So I think in here I'm certainly going to put some beetroot, and I might actually put some turnip as well. I've got some turnip. Yeah. So I've got turnip Milan purple, and I've got beetroot Detroit dark red. So I'm going to have everybody else.